So am I doing like a video diary? Is that what this is gonna be? Yeah, I don't know. Has it ever been done before? A video diary? Um, I don't know. But it might be worth something one day, right? Never know. I don't even know if that's what I'm gonna be doing, if that's what I'm doing right now. Um, but I did feel that I wanted to make a video, and I have absolutely nothing to talk about. Um, I am up earlier than normal, up and out earlier than normal this morning because I was paying Davion to take Kevin to school, and he had been getting him to school late a lot. I'd say probably about once every week and a half he would be late getting him to school. And so yesterday he was late, and he didn't even leave the house till like 7:40 when he left. And Kevin is late after 7:20. So I just felt like it was too much, being late too much. Now I don't really care about Kevin being late to school for school's sake, because I have very little respect for the school system just because of what they teach. Schools are not teaching children and preparing them to be adults. Like, I really believe, after a child is taught, after a child learns to read and write and learns basic math, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, then, after that, I feel like everything that schools teach after that is BS and is unnecessary and is a complete and total waste of time. It's unnecessary. Like, why are kids learning history? And then why are they learning, like, the history schools teach is not even truth. Like, the majority of it is falsehoods. It's lies. Like, when I was in school, they used to teach about Christopher Columbus discovering America. Well, we all know that he didn't discover nothing. But Christopher Columbus was a big deal when I was in school. They don't teach anything about, as far as I know, I'm not in school, but as far as I know, they're not teaching anything about, the Africans' contribution to America. I mean, they're not, they'll teach about slavery, but it's so much more to the Africans' history than slavery. Like, that's such a small part of it. So, they're teaching history like in every grade up to like the 12th. It's totally unnecessary. They teaching all this advanced mathematics for a lot of students. You got algebra and geometry and trigonometry and calculus and all this stuff, and like, what's the percentage of people that are actually using this? Like, how many kids actually use geometry as an adult and in their career? How many? Like, I guarantee the percentage is super, super low. Was I taught that? They tried to teach me that. I never used it. I used the basics. I mean, for real, all I need to know how to count money and pay bills. and I need to, like basic accounting skills, money, how much money is going out, how much is coming in, how much do I need to pay to take care of my responsibilities, pay my bills and whatever, blah blah blah. I need to know how to do that, you know. Um, but it's just a waste of time. So I have no respect for it, you know. But going to school is the law. So I wish I could homeschool my son, which I do. I'm not gonna say. I mean, I do, but I wish I could just pull him out of school. Period. But this is one of those hoops you gotta jump through, to get that little paper and comply with the law. So, he goes. I don't care if he's late. I don't even care if he misses days. My son come to me sometime, like Kevin will come to me like, do I have to go to school today? Blah blah blah. Like, no, don't worry about it. And like I said, for school's sake, I don't care if he's late. But I just feel like Davion needs to. He needed to be fired because he wasn't performing his duties as he was supposed to. And in the real world, when you're on a job and you're not doing what you're supposed to, you get fired. So I just felt like he needed to taste that. So that's why I'm up. But yeah, I could talk about schools, but I guess I already did. What else do they teach in school that's absolutely useless and worthless? Language arts, like I almost said something. But what is that? What is language arts? I don't, it's just a bunch of unnecessary stuff. Why don't schools teach kids things that they actually will use, right? Okay, what kind of things could schools teach kids? Let's see, that's a little better. I'll put the light on. What kind of things could schools teach kids that would actually be helpful and prepare them for adulthood? Basic accounting. What else? What about how to start a business? What about taxes? About how to get your taxes done? What else? And maybe some schools teach this. I don't know. Of course, if you teach this, then I'm not talking about you. And if you don't teach this, then I am talking about you. But what else? What about getting a job? And some of the stuff you obviously wouldn't teach like in the 3rd or 4th grade. Well, 3rd and 4th grade, I think you're still learning how to, maybe do like math and stuff like that, like the basics. But as is appropriate, but these are things that should be taught at some point during high school before a child graduates. Getting a job, how to fill out an application, how to interview. What about interviewing skills? How to dress for an interview, and make it, I guess, like job appropriate. Of course, you're not gonna wear a suit for, if you're interviewing for a factory position, right? So make it like job appropriate or job relevant, What about, the importance of, a firm handshake and eye-to-eye contact, stuff like that. What else could they teach? Why don't they teach kids about how to eat? That's something I've been doing lately with Kevin, and I've been doing it with Davion too, but Davion just, is not really, definitely not taking the initiative and doesn't even seem interested as Kevin does. So I've done a few sessions with Kevin on how to eat. Why aren't they teaching them about that? Like how to eat. Like what do you need to be feeding your body? How to pick food, right? Like you don't just pick food because it tastes delicious, right? What about the nutritional content? What about calories? What about fat, fiber, protein, blah, blah, blah. Type of minerals, nutrients, you know. What does your body need? How to shop, about how to grocery shop, read labels. What are these different ingredients and how do they affect the body? You know, what about stuff like this? What about how to garden? How to plant your own stuff? What's wrong with that? Like, these are things that a child becoming an adult could actually use, right? And they're critical. You know, like the obesity rate in the United States is insane. And I know amongst black people, I personally, I don't see many black people that are in shape. I just don't. I'm gonna say around 85 to 90% of all black people that I see are overweight. So, like, yeah, why aren't they teaching and how to cook? What about that? Not home ec. Not how home ec was. They used to teach us how to, you know, how to cook consciously. You know, selecting the right ingredients. You know, you're cooking things that are good for your body, not, you know, freaking peanut butter cookies where you're using granulated sugar and, you know, sticks of butter and all this stuff. You know, what about teaching what sugar does, how granulated sugar affects you, and what are some good alternatives? About butter, how butter affects you, or dairy, how does dairy affect you? And, you know, don't make it one-sided. You know, talk about teach the pros and the cons, because, you know, nothing's all bad. But if you give kids the information, then, you know, let them make their own decisions. You teach a kid what's good and bad about, like, granulated sugar. What are the pros and what are the cons? And then allow the child to weigh it out for themselves, whether they, you know, still want to eat it or not. The same with anything. Which I don't know if there's anything good about pop other than it tastes great, you know. But well, I guess there has to be something good because it has tons of sugar, and sugar does have some benefits. Like I said, sugar is not all bad. So, you know, kids love pop. Juice, like store-bought juice. What are the pros? What are the cons? Like, talk about real life stuff. Like, if schools taught stuff like this, I would definitely want my son to be in school on time every day, right? They're teaching sex education in schools, from what I understand. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that's a bad thing, but, and I guess, you know, something to add to this is, as parents, you know, we should definitely kind of be I don't know, we should be like the head teachers, right? Like, okay, they go to school, but when they come home, it's like, what did you learn, right? Like, share what you learned. And then as the head teacher, you go over that stuff and you're like, okay, that's BS. That's BS. That's BS. Ignore that. You don't need that. And this is the truth. This is what it really is. And when you go to school, you go ahead and pay attention. You do what you need to do to pass the class, right? But you let that stuff go in one ear and out the other. Once you pass that class, you just forget about it because it's useless information. And it's not even true, right? As a parent, that's what we're supposed to do. Like, what if there were no schools, right? Then, that would fall on our shoulders anyway. Well, it's still, like, ultimately, I feel ultimately it's our responsibility as parents to teach our children, not the government, not the schools, although they're trying to make it their responsibility and play this big brother role or whatever. No. It is not their responsibility. These children are not their children. These are our children. And so we have to teach them. So we should, as parents, should definitely, like, what did you learn? Okay. Or what are they trying to teach you? I think that's a better way to say it. What are they trying to teach you? Yeah, that's foolishness. Yeah, don't believe that. No, don't you ever do that. No. Blah, blah, blah. And then teach them what the schools are not teaching that they should be teaching. Like, the things that I mentioned. Are there, another thing, I think schools should be tailor-made for each student as much as possible, right? So, like, I don't know when it should start, but at what grade level. But I think, teachers or a counselor or whoever should sit down with the student and be like, okay, what do you want to do with your life? Do you? And, a child may not know. An adult may not know. But what do you think you want to do with your life? And then let the child tell you. And then once the child express what they think they want to do, because children usually have some idea of what they want to do, even though probably, a majority of the time they don't end up doing that. They still have an idea. So schools should support that and teach kids a curriculum that supports that, that's, kind of consistent with that, that'll steer them in that direction and start preparing them for that career in whatever it is. Like, why are you teaching? You have a school full of students that all want to be different things in life. Some want to be scientists, some want to be doctors, some want to be firemen, some want to be police, some want to be, I don't know, physical therapists, some want to be personal trainers, some want to be in the NBA, some want to be in the NFL, blah, 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 blah. Some might want to be chefs, some might want to be cosmetologists, some might want to be garbage men, some might want to be dog trainers, some might want to be veterinarians. Why are you teaching them all the same stuff? Right? Like, that don't even make sense. You should sit down with the students. Where you want to be a veterinarian? Okay. And then you tailor make a curriculum for that child. And then you poll all the students, how many students want to be veterinarians, and then you put them in a class together. So on and so forth. That makes sense. But teaching kids, like algebra, I don't even know, like, as a nurse or a doctor, something like that, you need I don't know how much it's used, but I had looked into being an RN, and I know part of the schooling for an RN, advanced mathematics, was part of the curriculum. And to me, advanced mathematics begins at algebra. So I definitely remember seeing algebra, and that turned me off because I was never good at algebra. So I was like, oh, well, can't do that. Next. But for those students that, want to be in careers that will require advanced mathematics, teach them algebra and calculus and the trigonometry and geometry and all that stuff. Why are you teaching somebody that wants to be a personal trainer advanced mathematics? That's stupid, right? So, yeah, that's my take on school and the school system. It's BS. I have very, very little respect for it. I place very, very little value. I don't even know if I place any value on it at all, honestly. Like I said, after students have been taught to read, write, and perform basic math, after that, my respect for the school system goes down like 1,000,000,000% to basically zero. So that's and I didn't even know what I was gonna talk about, and I wasn't even like really getting on here to talk about anything. I was just wanting to make a video. But yeah, that's I guess this video is about school. But I'm sitting outside here. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. No, I will do that. Planet Fitness, because I love Planet Fitness. One thing, that's why my videos be so long. I'm long-winded. But I gotta say this though. We need to start appreciating. No, I'm gonna make that another video. I'm gonna cut this short here. I'm out.